Alright, so it's 9:30 sharp. Let me begin with today's topic. So hello team, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to another session on information security. Today's topic we have taken on request of one of my office colleague, Miss Lakshmi. She asked me to create a video on application security. So I am making the video for the same. You may also ask me to create a video of your choice, as I said earlier, and I will create a video accordingly. Alright, so let's get started with today's topic, API security. But before that, let's see the agenda of today's video. So here is the agenda. We understand why is API security important. Then we learn what is web security and difference between REST API security and SOAP API security. And lastly, we will see what are some of the most common API security best practices. Alright. So let's see what is API security. So friends, an API, which is application programming interface, allows software application to interact with each other. So using this API, software basically interact. It is a fundamental part of modern software pattern such as microservice architecture. API security is a process of protecting API from any attacks. But because API are very commonly used and because they enable access to sensitive software functions and data, they are becoming a primary target for attackers. API security is a key component of modern web application security. API may have vulnerabilities like broken authentication and authorization. Now let's see why is API security important. Friends, because business use API to connect service and to transfer data. Broken, exposed or hacked API are behind major data breaches. They expose sensitive medical, financial and personal data for public consumption. That said, not all data is same nor should be protected in the same way. How you approach API security will depend on what kind of data is being transferred. If your API connect to third party application, please remember you need to understand how that app is funneling information back to the internet. Let's try to understand with the help of example. Maybe you don't care if someone find out what is in your fridge, but if they use the same API to track your location, you might be more concerned. Alright. Now let's see what is web security, REST API versus SOAP API security. So web API security is concerned with the transfer of data through API that are connected to the internet. OAuth, what we called open authorization, is the open standard for access delegation. It enables user to give third party access to web resources without having to share password. So OAuth is a technology standard that lets you share a video onto your social network with a single share button without asking for the password. Now most API implementations are either REST, which is representational state transfer, or SOAP, which is simple object access protocol. REST API use HTTP and support transport layer security, which is TLS encryption. TLS is a standard that keeps an internet connection private and checks that data sent between two systems, that is a server and a client, is encrypted and unmodified. This means that a hacker trying to expose your credit card information from shopping website can neither read your data nor modify it. You know if a website is protected with TLS if the URL begin with HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. REST API also use JavaScript object notions, which is JSON, which is a file format that make it easier to transfer data over web browser. By using HTTP and JSON, REST API don't need to store or repackage data, which makes them faster than SOAP API. SOAP API use built-in protocol known as Web Service Security (WS Security). These protocol defines a rule set that is guided by confidential and authentication. SOAP API support standards set by the two major international standard bodies, that is the Organization for Advancement of Standard Information Standard, which is OASIS, Organization for Advancement of Structured Information Standard, and another organization is World Wide Web Consortium, which is W3C. They use a combination of XML encryption, XML signature, and SAML tokens to verify authentication and authorization. In general, SOAP API are praised for having more comprehensive security measures, but they also need more management. For this reason, SOAP API are recommended for the organizations handling sensitive data. Now let's see what are some of the most common API security best practices. Now here are some of the most common way you can strengthen your API security. First, tokens. Establish trusted identities and then control access to service and resource by using token assigned to those identities. Use encryption and signatures. Encrypt your data using a method like TLS. Required signature to ensure that right user are decrypting and modifying your data and no one else. Identify vulnerabilities. Keep up your operating system updated, network drivers and API components. Know how everything work together and identify weak spot, which is vulnerabilities that could be used to break into your APIs. Use sniffer to detect security issues and track data leak. Use quotas and throttling, which means place quotas on how often your API can be called and track its use over history. More calls on API may indicate that it is being abused. It could also be a programming mistake, such as calling the API in an endless loop. Make rules for throttling to protect your API from spike and denial of service attacks. Use an API gateway. API gateway act as a major point of enforcement for API traffic. A good gateway allows you to authenticate traffic as well as control and analyze how your APIs are used. So this is all about today's quick video on API security. Do let me know in case you want me to create some more videos. In the last, I would say you can download my mobile application, which is Shailendra Academy. You can go to Google Play Store and download this application, and there you find all the cyber security concepts and cyber security certifications details, especially if you are preparing for CISM. There you get some good videos, mock tests, notes and other materials. So please download this application and let me know if in case you want